Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, we've got some good news, Transformers wise. We have news of reveals coming out. We've had some reveals, like we finally got the Studio Series 86 Transformers the movie Windcharger. Some people are a little bit disappointed by his articulation, and some of the deluxes are being a little basic. Like if you look at the Constructicons, half of them look like really good deluxes, and the other half look like upscaled core class figures that have pieces and joints that look like Legos stuck together. But that's a whole other video I've already done. But Windcharger, I was happy with him, I was fine with him, because one of the reasons why I started collecting the newer figures from Studio Series and Energon and, not Energon, I've forgotten all the different names we're giving for the different ones now, but was because I wanted to get the mini cars in deluxe scale. You know, the same scale as all the other figures, so they're all just matching, because even as a child it bothered me that clearly the mini cars should have been the same size. It really only worked with Bumblebee. The other cars, they were cars just like the others, so Windcharger should be in the same size as Jazz and Smokescreen and the others. So, you know, I know now as an adult why it was like that, because they bought different Transforming toy lines from different companies that are in different scales and put them all together under the same sort of Transformers story. But always bothered me. So we've seen Windcharger. We're hearing that we're getting a Power Glide. We got a Sea Spray recently, which was kind of annoying because I just bought the Masterpiece scale third-party ones of both of them, because even though they'd been around for a while, they were not going up in price, they were plenty in stock, and there was no rush to get them. I just really wanted them. And I've been preferencing other ones that were harder to get or were a better price, so we're going to go up in price. But I just really wanted them. I bought them, then like the next week they announced Sea Spray coming out in the sort of classic style packaging, and then Power Glide now, so it's a couple of months later. But had I waited, I could have preferenced some other figures. It's going to be harder to get later, but I really wanted them, so I have them. So I'm glad we're getting Power Glide. But what surprised me is that we didn't get so far a Swerve and an Outback, because both of these, you know, could be easily spun out of the molds that have been already done for Brawn and Gears. They've recolored them for the classic series with the classic packaging, which I guess is easier, the first sort of easy sort of repaint. The next would be those, because in order to be the other characters they do need some amount of tooling. But I'm guessing we're going to get the same with Windcharger, where now we've gotten the basic robot, then, you know, retooling and recoloring is, you know, the next step. So hopefully we'll eventually get all the mini cars. I just want all the main figures in the same deluxe scale or matching Voyager, and Leader for the bigger figures. That's all. It's a small dream, particularly the mini cars, because they stand out more scale wise with those issues. But yeah, so they've announced Soundwave, and I kind of regret buying this one now. But at the time, I remember I was looking at my collection, like I have no Soundwave, Optimus and Megatron, because none of them at that point have been done in Studio Series yet. And I just thought, you know what, just buy one of each, just get them cheap, get them without the packaging, whatever, get them loose, just to have them on the shelf. And then later, if they do better Studio Series ones, then you'll have these for contrast. You'll have, you know, alternative versions, and you can have your little War for Cybertron set and your Studio Series set. You know, it's fine. So I bought them, and literally the week after I got them, Optimus was announced, and then Megatron was announced and came out like a year later. So I now have studio versions of them. But Soundwave, they've just announced he's coming out. We're going to see him next week. I'm kind of excited, but this was the worst choice, because this is the one that doesn't turn into a cassette player. It turns into a shape that's supposed to be a ship. Now, part of the reason why I got him is because they both have the awful tooling with the arms, where you have these, I don't know why they didn't just fold these into the giant gap in the arms, but basically from the waist up it looks the same. The legs are totally different, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get that, because you won't see the legs, because I'm going to have other smaller figures standing in front of them on the shelf, and at least it'll give me one on the shelf for now, and then when I get Studio Series 1 I'll have that. But I kind of regret not getting the Netflix version or the Evolution one, although I think the Evolution one came out right after I bought this, and that was retail, so it was cheaper because the Netflix ones were more expensive, but that one was a retail one that was just coming out, so I could have got it for cheaper, and that had some of the cassettes, not all of them, I think 3. And it's sort of, you know, they're making it so you have to buy more than one Soundwave to get the cassettes. Why they don't just release the cassettes in a set, or release them all separately so we can buy the ones we want, I don't know. I guess it's their way of making us buy more Soundwaves, but I don't really appreciate it. And I'm probably going to end up getting one, because as much as I like the Studio Series ones, they are becoming more like just rescaled masterpiece ones. And as much as I like their cartoon accuracy, in toy form they seem a bit too simplified, and they don't feel like real robots. And I kind of am happy for the Masterpiece Collection to be their own thing. So the fact that now we're getting these ones as sort of mini ones, it makes me appreciate the extra detail and so forth on these ones, which I originally didn't like. And now I'm looking at them like, this feels more like a robot, whereas their ones feel too statuey, because they're from the simplified animated versions, which are simplified for the process of animation. It doesn't really translate well for toys. I don't mind extra detail there just to make them look better, but they don't do that with some of them. So I'm probably going to get the other one as well, and I'm going to end up with 3 sound waves. So a little bit of regret there with getting that one, but that's collecting.